MK Ultra podcast starts right now.
Three.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the MK Ultra podcast. I'm Marco.
I'm Kevin.
Now let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So, before we started, we got to talking real quick about, because I saw a meme about Julian Edelman. Big news. The 3-time Super Bowl champ, 1-time MVP.
Yeah, one-time MVP.
15 years in the league.
I think he said 2009. Let's go with that.
Okay.
He's because I was thinking 2009. He said, and I've been here for 12 years.
Finally announces his retirement.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Now the debate is, does he belong in the Hall of Fame? So we're going to open up this podcast episode with a little sports talk. So, Kevin, do you think Julian Edelman belongs in the NFL Hall of Fame?
I want you to give me some good moments he has, because the only moment I can think of is Super Bowl 51 with that
impossible
ridiculous catch. I'll give him that. Ridiculous catch. I like him. I do. But it's like, does he have enough on what to say this word, because I'm used to this word, resume. Does he have enough on that resume to get him in? Because how you can get nominated to be in the Hall of Fame is that you have to be in a Pro Bowl at least.
At least once.
At least once. And
Yeah.
he's been in there, I'm going to go with probably 10 times. Let's say he's been voted in there 10 times, but half of those times he denies it because he has a fucking Super Bowl to go to.
Yeah, they have to play in the Super
He's
Bowl.
got to play in the Super Bowl. Have you ever seen a player do Pro Bowl even when they're in the Super Bowl too?
I don't think they're allowed to. I think it's a safety thing in case you get hurt from the Pro Bowl.
I feel like maybe it used to be okay, and then there's safety problems. But all I can think of is that catch. There is another one that my dad likes from him, and of course this is so interesting hearing it from my dad because he's not a Patriots fan. Well, I think he's okay now because Tom's out. He's not. He hates Tom. And I understand he's got lots of stuff.
I don't.
Yes, I know. I know you don't. But what I'm trying to say is that he told me his favorite moment where I think this was the butt fumble game because it was them versus the Jets. And I think it was Sunday night, and that was probably the butt fumble. The returner from the Jets catched it in the end zone, and he was going to run out, and then he got hit so hard, the ball went flying, and somehow it ended up in Julian Edelman's hands, and he just ran as fast as he could to the end zone.
Well, just looked it up real quick. Julian Edelman has never made the Pro Bowl.
Never made the Pro Bowl.
So maybe he was an all-pro, but he's never made the Pro Bowl.
Unless he has, but just cannot go.
Never been named.
Because you have to make an appearance to probably get that one in.
Well, no, it says Julian Edelman has never made the Pro Bowl.
So that's a bit tough then too. Because if you also see that post that everyone's doing because they believe Ryan Fitzgerald, this is gonna be his last season, and they're trying to get him into the Pro Bowl. So
Fitzpatrick.
What did I say?
Gerald. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I said Ryan Fitzpatrick. Then
You said Fitzgerald.
I
I knew who you meant, and then it took me a second to
It took me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I drew a blank. I'm like, I don't know what I said.
No, I went with it. I was like, oh yeah, Ryan Fitzgerald.
Thank you.
Right.
But like they are trying. People are like, let's get him into the Pro Bowl so he can be into the Hall of Fame. But like, I feel like they're just getting him in the Hall of Fame because he's been through so many teams.
Oh, man.
I'm surprised this guy has not just given up on his career for every time he's been traded. He's been. I'm gonna say he's been through maybe almost half of the team. I'll say a quarter.
Close to a quarter. Yeah.
Quarter. But it's just you just see him on every single team. Not even as a star, but at least as a backup.
He's been featured on the teams he's been on, though. He was at least the quarterback, if not like Miami. They had some switch arounds, but he was still the quarterback in the system.
Miami's interesting because he started and then his Ramley just got taken off because we got Tua.
Yeah. But then there was a string of Tua getting pulled in the fourth quarter because he can't finish a game.
Oh yeah, I mean, there was that time when he was in Alabama where he gets injured a lot in the fourth quarter, so maybe that's why. And then you have Jalen Hurts come out and finish it.
But anyway, besides that, so I think what we have to
Persuade me.
think of is what kind of who are we to compare wide receiver Hall of Famers? Obviously, you'll see on every meme now it's Calvin Johnson.
Calvin
never,
Johnson.
never won a ring, so there's that argument. Jerry Rice,
But he's also
Randy Moss.
he also the Lions were never good without Calvin Johnson. Most
Sure.
of the touchdowns
They
came
didn't
from
even, they didn't do anything prominent with
Randy
Calvin
Moss.
Johnson.
I'll give two things. One, there's always that picture where it's like three catches, this many yards, 3 touchdowns. I think it's like 180 is like
3.3, 190 or something like that.
yeah, and it was just like crazy.
That's insane.
Crazy there. And then this one, I am a Packers fan, but I don't remember this. I don't know if it was. I think it was 1999 when this happened, or the early 2000s. Whenever they were about to make, I think it was the almost Super Bowl run, and then they choked it. The kicker missed it. There was the Lambeau. They had to play at Lambeau Field, and then everyone's being rude and saying like, "Oh, this is too easy." And then Randy Moss comes out, and that's where he pretended to moon the audience. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because what's actually interesting too is that there were people in the fans of Packers that were mooning him just randomly for no reason.
Because he's too good.
Yeah.
But
So there's those two.
well,
He actually did make it to Super Bowl, but then
Randy Moss, in my eyes, not even that I'm a Patriots fan, I think was better than Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice is just really tall.
Jerry Rice, he also worked with Joe Montana and Steve Young. Did Steve Young ever get a Super Bowl with San Francisco?
He won like 3, Kevin.
3? All I can think of is Joe Montana.
Yeah, they won like 4, and then they won 3 with Steve
Joe
Young.
Montana has 5 because I know what he like holds up like.
He has 4.
It's 4, really?
Mhm. But we got to think of when Randy Moss and Jerry Rice were playing. It was Randy Moss and Jerry Rice getting the ball majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Post, I would say 2008, especially when Tom Brady hurt his knee, the system did have to change because he had to stay in the pocket more. He can't move.
Yeah.
So now, especially with the addition, back then it was Aaron Hernandez, but then Gronky. But you got to think of how many times does Julian Edelman get the ball in accordance to the game compared to where Jerry Rice and Randy Moss got the ball in a game.
I will say the Randy Moss Patriot season, he could have easily gotten that Super Bowl, but the problem was, I don't know if I can't remember much of it, but did Tom Brady kept targeting Randy Moss and like they finally caught on
for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, for the Super Bowl, didn't they?
That's where he hit his 50th on the most
Yeah.
beautiful launch It is the greatest pass I've ever seen. When you want to show someone what an NFL quarterback is, do the Randy Moss Tom Brady 50th touchdown. It is the greatest play ever. Just launched it perfect. And then what happens? Bill Belichick loses the Super Bowl. Bill Belichick did.
Twice.
Not Tom Brady.
Twice. 2.
3. Foles.
Oh, and Nick Foles. Everyone keeps forgetting about Nick Foles.
Because
one.
we don't want to remember that Tom Brady got his ass kicked by Nick Foles.
a backup quarterback.
But then again, that's the thing that Tom Brady lost to Nick Foles. Well, Tom Brady also threw 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. He probably should have won.
Yeah, but can't catch a football.
No. But then again, how does Nick Foles hit a Philly special on Bill Belichick?
While making a Philly special.
While making a Philly special. Give me that
While making a
cheesesteak,
fucking
son.
sandwich. Goes up. It's like right there at the
So
corner.
when he was
of the
really
end zone.
going for the pass, it wasn't like, I'm open. He was pointing to the concession
I will
guy.
say, I will say, God, that must have been nerve wracking too, because it was 4th and goal, and like quarterbacks, you don't see them catch like this. You see him mostly catch like this with the chest. He freaking went up there like this.
Looked like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, and he also was like turned and like this. It's like, oh my God.
No, you're right, because the Patriots did hit that play before. I've seen it, and Tom Brady always catches underhand.
Which my time as in high school, when I remember tight ends, I always did chest. I could never do this. Like I could do it maybe if
you got to think about
it's got to
play.
be to me it's got to be right here, because if I feel it, then I can easily go like this. But like
Well, you
I
gotta
just
think
could
of the
never
play
do this.
are you running? If you're running a curl where you're out and then completely turn around, and
Yeah,
catch
that's
the ball.
definitely catch.
But yeah, if you're doing like
If
a
you're
slant
doing
or
if you're doing like a fade or like an up,
Mhm.
the quarterback wants to make sure to
it's
like
a running catch.
to do because you got to reach out and let that ball just nicely lay in your hands.
Like that Scotty Miller catch he had
Yeah.
during that last
I
season.
will say it is the most amazing feeling I ever had when it just lays there, because I remember a couple of times we had to practice routes and I ran and I went like this and then like all of a sudden it's like, oh, whoa. Whoa.
But I'm going to say I understand why people don't think Julian Edelman should be in the Hall of Fame. But
The one thing I have to say is that when the game's on the line,
they won.
who you gonna trust more?
I
It must have
Don't-
been the beard.
I don't think it's fair. It must have been the roid rage.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not on steroids. Jesus. I mean, he might be. He's nuts. I know he's got like temper problems or something like that. He sees a psychiatrist
he's got
for
fucking
it.
temper
Yeah.
problems.
But
he does.
I still stand by. I don't think the system let him be targeted as much. You had Gronkowski, you had Amendola, you had Chris Hogan, you had at points you had Julian Edelman, you had you had so many people that could catch a ball, and it's Tom Brady. If he wants you to catch a ball and you're decent enough at your route, you're going to catch the ball. So I don't think it's fair to say he doesn't have the regular season stats, which is everyone's big thing right now, because you're in the Patriot system. It's everyone's job. It's everyone's ball. Whoever's open is getting the ball. Now, you could say, well, if he was open more, he would get the ball. I understand that, but you're in Tom Brady's team. Whoever gets the ball it's Tom Brady's decision. So if he had Jerry Rice, I'm sure he would have got towards Jerry Rice on every chance he got, like he did with Randy Moss. But again, I don't think that kind of system allowed him to hit Edelman on every single play. You can't do that. A couple runs, hit a play action to Gronk, maybe a little curl to Edelman.
Well, and also too, when I'm thinking, the only game that was upsetting that when the game's online he wasn't there was the Eagles game.
Yeah.
But all I can think of too with the game online, let's look at the fucking worst Super Bowl ever, them versus the Rams. That was so terrible. And then the halftime show, there was no SpongeBob.
I think people underestimated the Rams' defense.
I just don't understand what happened here. You guys did so great in the playoffs and Super Bowls. What happened?
I'm gonna say they didn't care about the Rams' defense, and they didn't realize how good the offense was. So, because obviously the Patriots' defense has been the defense since 2005, but they looked really sloppy. It's not that the Rams scored. It's that they were just fucking up enough that no one could do anything. Yeah. Tom Brady was getting stifled. it's Jared Goff. I feel like if that little Matt Stafford trade would have happened a few years ago, we might have been looking at a different Super Bowl because it's Jared Goff.
Yeah, but that's gonna be interesting too. Matt Stafford at the Rams.
Yeah. We'll keep that in the back pocket.
We'll keep that in the back pocket.
So, to end it all, if you had to pick yes or no, say, Kevin, we need a number 51 vote. It's 50-50. Everyone's saying yes or no. What are you saying? Does Julian Edelman deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
I'm gonna get hate, but I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. He needs to. I feel like he is. What the fuck?
If you didn't notice, our light just turned off.
God dang! And that's a new Okay, so that freaking backpack. Yeah. Anyway, you said it looks good, but it's just this is actually one of the new Barrys because I left your actual full Barry in there. So I was like, I checked these yesterday, and the battery pack did say green, but I didn't actually have it plugged in because I was like, oh, that's really cool. You slide it in, and it's like, oh, it says it's green, but I probably should have had it plugged in. Yeah. But I have, I got backup batteries for you now because of that. But that's okay. Yeah, you nice. Got your wish though. You're like, you don't need that light. You don't need that light.
I didn't think it looked too bad. It looks all right. Now.
Yeah. MK Ultra podcast.
Obviously, I would say yes. Edelman deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He's got 3 rings and he's got an MVP. Yeah. Granted, that MVP was who else was going to get it because Tom Brady didn't do anything.
It was literally between, I would say, Edelman and Gron because
Gronk. That huge.
Because that pass that got him into the end zone finally. Yeah. But they didn't get touchdown. They settled for a field goal to make it 13-3.
But Edelman did do a majority of all that work throughout that game. Yeah. So 3 Super Bowls, an MVP. I get his seasonal stats aren't the best, but what are you gonna do? I would say yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with yes. I don't care. I don't care what the hate was. Like, I'm not a Patriots fan, but just like,
He means something to the game.
Oh, and he was also he also was a quarterback at Kent State.
That's crazy
He
too.
was not even a receiver.
Yeah.
And he did not get invited to the combine, but he got picked in the 7th round, which is that's the last round too, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going with yeah.
So
I'm
And that you remember that reverse pass he hit to Danny Amendola?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to go with yeah, just because like
If you don't get sued, you should put that in like the filming, just a quick Edelman throw. It was amazing.
No, we can do it. We just cut out the sound.
Yeah.
Just cut the sound because if we have your sound over the clip, they're like, okay, it's not copyright. Really, you can get away with a lot of stuff in like YouTube. I show a couple clips like when I do bracket challenges on my YouTube channel, which I do. I need to get back into that because I have a couple that I have not finished or like I'm in process of editing because I actually found one that I recorded back in 2018. It's not even edited yet. I'm like, oh my goodness, you've been here this whole time. I'll fix that. But
check out Kevin's YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, it's a very dying channel. I used to be at 1,000. Now I'm at like 975. But it's like it's a hobby now. It's like I back in the day, if I was in high school, like I want to be a YouTuber so bad, and nothing. It's all right, but when I do those challenges, I show clips, and like sometimes my voice will be over, and like okay, you're okay. If you show more than 30 seconds of a copyright clip, then you're gonna get.
Gotta stay legal. YouTube has that weird thing though, where even if you mention someone, they can claim it as theirs, and they get all the royalties from it or whatever.
Definitely back in the day where the do you know the Fine Brothers, the React channel?
I don't believe so.
Okay, well the Fine Brothers used to back in the day when like to me YouTube before I would say 2015 and under used to be great. It used to be amazing. It was a fun comedy sketch and stuff, and like everything was great. I would say before the gaming world hits,
before parents got involved, before everything in this world turned towards the children
and turned towards easy money.
Yeah, Marvel, children, YouTube, children, TV, children, video games, children.
The highest paid YouTuber right now is a little kid named Ryan's Toys.
Oh yeah.
He's loaded, and that started because parents. He barely PewDiePie reviewed reviews because everyone's like, oh, this guy's gonna be better than PewDiePie, but yet PewDiePie still has like 100 million, and you're like at 50.
We can talk about PewDiePie after because I like talking about him.
Yeah, but like he reviewed this and he straight up demolished the parents. It's basically just the parents. The kid has a few words, but the parents are doing most of the talking, which is terrible. He literally did not like that. He's like, that's terrible. But quick, I feel like I had something to say before we got into that, but that's all right. If it clicks back in, I'll say.
Well, my whole point was, I don't care about your kid. I want to laugh out. Like, if you have a problem with what your kid's watching on YouTube, the source shouldn't be. I feel like we talked about this in the first episode. The source shouldn't be you have to go to the source of the content. You don't like what your kid's watching on YouTube. Why are you not watching your kid?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like someone forced him to look anything up on his own on YouTube. I understand that it's there, easily accessible for him to watch. My kid's going to be corrupted. Well, why don't you watch your damn kid then?
I will say, what throughout my years of being on YouTube, I noticed YouTube probably 2005, but never when it actually did start, like maybe like a couple of months after it became a big when it just started. But I didn't really get into it since 2007, and just looking throughout PewDiePie's history of being on there, he can get away with so much stuff. Like he doesn't even care about quality anymore with microphones. He'll just put a mic on and like he can entertain the audience.
True.
That's what he can do. It doesn't matter. Like if you're very popular, you can get away with stuff like, oh, I don't need this big budget microphone. Like I only bought this mic because I've been dying to have one of these mics. I'm not doing it because of quality. I just want this microphone. This has been my dream microphone, and I'm glad I have it. But like PewDiePie literally will use his headset or he'll use a cheap clip-on microphone. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at this setup. Pretty simple. But, I mean, he can get away with stuff like that. But the problem around him is he can't do anything without people jumping on his back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he's ascended to this thing of, like, he's almost just not real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's that, what's the kid, the toy kid you just said?
Ryan's Toys.
Okay, there's Ryan's Toys. Biggest, like, moneymaker on YouTube or whatever.
Because
right?
he's just reviewing
Exactly.
real good toys. And that's a big thing.
And that's YouTube's other thing was that, oh, look at this, the best YouTuber we have, like the biggest YouTuber on our platform, while PewDiePie's sitting there that took an entire country to beat his subs. An entire country company that cheated.
There's still loads of theories, and people still don't believe that they deserve to be. Where are they at right now?
No, well, my thing was, towards the end of it, when PewDiePie was taking off again and he was just crushing them, and it was like, oh, well, no one's ever going to overtake PewDiePie. They did that stupid sub-check thing where they got rid of all his bots. Well, are they going to do it to T-Series? Well, no. What do you mean, no? You're going to take away his dead subs and not take away any of theirs when all of their subs are bots. Well, yeah. What do you mean, yeah? It's YouTube's job to try and wash away PewDiePie when he's ascended to almost a... Like, it's a dramatic way of saying, but he's like a god amongst YouTube. He's just there in the ether, and we know he's there.
Yeah, PewDiePie has 109, and somehow T-Series has 179.
Yeah, that is so stupid. It took an entire country and a company to beat him.
To beat one person. And then there is another company behind him at 109. Too.
Yeah.
It's like they're just trying to get rid of this because...
And they can't do it.
YouTube is more of an advertisement now.
Yeah. It's all money.
The music industry, no offense, music industry and like gaming companies have taken over.
First world problems to a T, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I should not have to sit through a 15-second ad. This is 2021. I can send a picture of a cat's butt to someone in China in a nanosecond. I should not, YouTube, be forced to sit through one or fucking multiple 15-second ads.
I hate this too. When the first ad there's two ads. When there are two ads. Now this sucks. When you don't click skip on the first one, then it friggin' like you gotta watch the second one, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if it's 20 minutes, 20 seconds. Like, YouTube tricked me on this because I watched this one guy because I always do reviews. I watch reviews on YouTube before I buy my production stuff, which I bought. I found a good camera.
It's a perfect thing to do. Look at what you want and then watch a bunch of videos on it. So like there was a Canon camera that I was gonna get over at Target before I even like reviewed because like I need a camera. I need two Canon cameras for my production. So glad they were out of it. They're out of stock. Like Canons are very popular. They're so out because I looked at reviews and I watched this one guy and he goes into depth with everything. Terrible autofocus. Like, oh, thank God. I need the autofocus. And then like lots of people are like, oh, get the Canon SL2. Sold out everywhere. Even the Canon website, Walmart's website, Amazon does not have any, but you can buy a used one. The starting price for an SNL is $600. You could buy a used one for someone that wants it for $750. Really?
It's like, no, thank you. So I finally found one. I'm getting a Canon M50, which is $650. So I'm going to spend $1,200 sort of thing for two, which is all right. But that's what I'm getting. I kind of drew a blank. What were we talking about? Oh yeah,
we were talking about PewDiePie, which we can. I just wanted to bring up the fact that they always have tried to get rid of him, but he's a god on YouTube. You're not going to get rid of the guy.
I just remembered. Thank you when you said YouTube. So with the ads, how I got tricked is that the guy has his own ad that that he puts on YouTube all around, so people like notice like, hey, if you need some awesome good tips, I'm your guy. And I was like, he was like, here's like 5 tips things because it was a video back in 3 years ago about the Canon SL2, which is a good camera to start off for beginners. And I literally thought that this was his beginning videos. Like, there's always been 5 mistakes that people wish that they remembered back in the day before doing research. And I was like, this is a weird thing to start off with. I thought we were talking about a thing. And I looked down and there's a yellow bar going across for ad. Like, it's like, oh, you got me good. You got me good.
There's those ads that almost pertain to what you've clicked on, and you just notice it as a simple conversation, and you're like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And you're like, what the fuck? And then you look at the corner, and it's like 25 minutes. Who the hell's going to watch a 25-minute ad? You ever seen those?
Dude,
when it's like little movies of ads?
Back in the day, there was this MTV show that started. It was like the name was Carter. It was Carter. It's about this young girl who was actually kidnapped by this woman who she thought was her actual mother, but she's like maybe 16, 17, 18, and then they get caught for sneaking into this random like amusement park because it's shut down. And then the cop was just like, a judge, or like the female cop was like, the woman that you say is your mom, it's not your mom. This is your real mom. And she kept denying it. They actually showed the whole episode as an ad.
What?
It was actually skippable, but it's like, but to me, I'm just like, but I really want to watch this though.
Oh man, see,
I skipped it after 10 minutes. I was like, I didn't. What?
I was going to say, they got you.
They did. I'm like, a free episode? Nice. Yeah. You have to pay for this.
Yeah, I do hate, everything is advertisement now. I absolutely hate it. Everything is profit, and it ruins everything. Because the idea isn't how to make the thing better, is how to make more money off of it.
Yeah.
And that's stupid. And even to that, if you want to make more money off of something, to get more money, it should be better. Okay, there's almost no advancements in quality of pertaining to anything. Xbox controllers, rubber bands, Apple computers, cameras, toys. They just inflate numbers and they decline in quality. And then everyone wonders why we have a problem with, like, that's my problem with, like, capitalism. They just gain for money without putting. I don't know what to. I'm not a politics guy. I'm not smart enough for that. I don't know how things should be fixed. I don't know if you should give everybody a bunch of money, or if you should keep it all, or just let everybody suffer, or do some in between stuff. But I do know if you want to be able to charge more for something, it should be better than what you have or had before. So if something end up costing you more and you find it's more shitty, like it's almost lying. It's like false advertisement. I also hate how most things in our production life, like almost anything, costs $1 to make, and it's, it cost you $9 to buy. What in the hell?
I mean, yeah, patterns in the world, for me, the starting price is like $20 for a fucking pattern.
For like square inch or foot, or just like a, what do you mean pattern? How do you buy those?
The commercial pattern.
Does it come in like just one big piece?
It comes from like a couple big pieces, but like the fabrics are cheap. That fabric right there you see right down on my bed, that was at Hobby Lobby. That was probably like $6 a yard. So I spent like $20
a yard.
Yeah,
that ain't bad.
But commercial patterns, the pattern to create that shape of that skirt thing that I'm still fucking working on.
He's got a small.
Yeah, I have a little project off screen for someone, because I was making a cosplay for my friend Air, and when I went up there, her roommate saw that and was like, "Hey, could you make me a skirt? Because I'm going to Disney World over the summer, and I have this shirt, but I would love a polka dot that right there, because she wants. I want a mini skirt.
It looks really good.
A Minnie Mouse skirt. Yeah, it's not put together yet. I just been quite busy. Usually I'm working or I'm editing up the last podcast we did, because we had a special guest, and it's just like,
yeah, we did.
I am probably going to stick with that split screen, because I might just have to deal with it, because I'm not going to go like, here's a full clip of me, full clip of you for like the moan parts. Like, I'm just going to stick with it and go with that.
Yeah.
Time consuming is pretty interesting too, because scheduling out time, because I'm a little bit behind on our Podbean. There's only 2 episodes, and we're on episode 5 right now. So it's like, oops.
Oof.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to put all that together.
I'm
I
putting
totally
it all together,
would
yeah.
if I didn't know how, but I don't.
I'm not the star of the show. Marco is. That's why the M's first.
I'm not even the star. It's the dimple.
Yeah.
It's just the spicy memes that we don't put. We should just like go ahead and print out memes and then like show the camera from time to time. Meme Monday.
Meme Monday. We don't even know when we record stuff.
No,
we just
literally,
do it.
yeah. We see if anyone has anything pressing we have to attend to later in the day. It's like, so you have nothing going on, so do a podcast episode? Yeah, sure.
Well, I do have something going on today. I gotta mow the grass still.
Well, yeah, but it's not like, appointment or there's no set time. Well, I mean, if you want to do it before it gets dark, yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll be fine. It takes
But, I mean,
2 hours.
today, yeah, I work early in the morning. You had the day off. We were able to go to the gym. Now we're setting up.
Yeah, I woke up at I did wake up to my alarm clock. I went to bed late last night. I think when do you get up usually?
What day is it?
Today is Friday.
12 to 1. 12, about 12 in the morning.
Okay,
to
so
1
I
in the
just
morning.
went to bed when you got up.
Yeah.
So I had about maybe like 6 hours of sleep when I hit my alarm clock. But then like I shut it off and it did it again. I don't think I hit snooze, but it did again. I'm like, stop it.
Yeah. The latest I wake up on most of given days is like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like the latest.
And what was so hard about today for me was just because I would literally open my phone and I'd be like, but it's like, come on, I gotta get to Marco's name in my
Yeah.
contacts. I need to ask him what.
One of the scariest things is when you hit snooze, but it was a reaction and you just go back to sleep. And you wake up, maybe it's a minute later, maybe it's like 2 hours later.
Oh no, I had a problem. I had to work this morning. Well, actually, not today, but like one time I had to work in the morning, and I don't know if my alarm clock went off at 5. So when I work at 6:30, I get up an hour and a half early for a shower and breakfast and just chill for a bit, like know what I'm doing. So I don't feel like when I go in it's like, but next thing I know, I was like, man, I wake up like, man, I haven't heard. I wonder what time it is. Like, is it close to my alarm clock? 5:45. I overslept for 45 minutes.
Ooh.
Usually it's like 30 minutes, which is okay. I was like, oh, that's not bad. Or I usually, if I'm not ready to get up, I'll be like, okay, 15. And usually sometimes 15 minutes is like a long time, so I'll be okay. But I'm like, oh shit, run, shower. It's like I'll get a granola bar before work. It's all right.
Yeah.
Cliff bars.
Being late. I hate being late.
I
I
do too.
just feel like so irresponsible.
The only time
Because I know I could have been there early
Yeah.
is my thing.
the only time that I'm okay being late is a couple minutes after the actual time is meeting you at the gym.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
which is okay. I mean, yesterday, holy crap, I was like, are you inside? Because there's so many cars. I'm like, but then I'm like looking, I'm like, a black car turned into the mall, black car turned into the mall. It's like, one of these black cars is you.
Eventually, he'll come.
Eventually. And then I actually saw who was with him, like,
Yeah. It was Bella.
yeah, she must have been holding you back a bit.
Yeah. But, well, what were we talking about this time? I think we were just gabbing there. weren't we?
Gavin, we talked about Julian Edelman Hall of Fame and then YouTube. That's all we've been talking about.
Booty pie.
So it's basically
said,
fame and like
You
money.
said one point about how you were researching all your stuff.
Yeah.
I completely understand that because I do the same thing with like guitars and stuff, like music stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guitar I have now, I bought a Taylor, a little 110. It was like my dream guitar. And it took me a long time. Like I've played a couple of guitars cheaper than that. It's about $800. And the crazy thing in guitar world is an acoustic guitar like mine. $800 is where you start what they call campfire guitars. And not meaning campfire is in, you sit by a campfire and it'll do you good in the woods. It means like if you're in danger, you can throw that in the campfire and fuck it, we'll get another one. $800 is cheap to these people.
The recent thing that I bought in this nice little case here, it came with a nice case. Finally, something was like, we might need to give you a case.
Yeah, it's always a little like a fabric bag thing.
Because that shotgun microphone down there, the case is that box, so I had to keep the box. But this came with a nice little plastic thing, and this is my Zoom recorder. It's really nice.
Yeah,
And I take a look at it. It's cool.
yeah, I like it. This thing's got to capture really good sound.
Yeah.
I-
Here's
I
the
real-
manual.
I realize that's the thing with podcast is because sound is so important. Where,
I actually did have a Zoom thing in mind, but it was like $300. But that one was $230, actually $247 because tax were $17. But shipping was free, of course. I think that came from Peoria's Guitar Center. I bought it off Guitar Center.
it looks real cool.
Yeah, it does. The day Tuesday, if you weren't driving, I was gonna be like, "Hey, you want to take a trip to Peoria so I can just go get it?" But after many attempts of failing to have someone come with me because I don't know much about Peoria,
Yeah.
I was like, "Screw it!" I went on their website and I just bought it, and it came. I actually ordered this Tuesday, and it came in 2 days.
Amazon's been on one lately.
This wasn't Amazon. This
or
was
whoever, I mean, shipping in general, I should say.
UPS. UPS brought this.
Like we've been talking about guys like because obviously since I work at UPS to just give a background so we understand shipping and stuff like that, but we've been having conversations at work about how guys have been ordering things and they've been getting it a day, 2 days, 3 days after, and that doesn't happen. So there's something like I think every shipping company is just getting it out there, just going for it. And it's not. We're definitely busy at work. I don't know about Amazon Prime and FedEx, but good luck to you guys. But we're dying.
Yeah, this came yesterday, and my mom was outside doing gardening, and a UPS vehicle came by, and she thought it was you, stopping and saying, "Hey, text Kevin saying I'm running late." I was like, "No, Marco said 4:30ish, so I hope he's off."
Yeah,
It's just like that. Actually, would actually been funny too. Like you open the door, hey, while you're driving by, I'm
sorry,
I'm gonna be late.
Can't stop.
I've seen you, but no. I've seen you a couple of times in your uniform coming to the gym. I could never do that. I'm sorry. I would have to stop at home. I know I live close to it, but it's like I would have to stop at home.
It's not like they're normal clothes, but you just want to feel normal again, I guess. So as soon as I leave that lot, I either want to stop somewhere and change, or I just want to go home directly and change.
Yeah.
And like the other day,
I mean, you can always come here and change if you
true,
want
but
to.
like the other day, I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for you at the. Oh, that sounds scary. I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for you.
Did you have candy?
I had a puppy.
A puppy? You did?
No.
I'm like, wait a second. Another dog? What did Bella do?
But like I was sitting there in the car, and I could have just walked into the locker room and changed, but I just wanted to get out of those work clothes so bad. I just changed in the car, and then walked into the gym.
Oh yeah, because you drove that day, and all of a sudden you're like, people's clothes.
I don't know. It's just a feeling of I just want to return back to normalcy.
Mm-hmm. No, today you were like, I'm gonna meet you in the locker room.
Yeah. Well, I just had to really go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay, understandable. I used to go in and like do like a little cardio, but it's like now it's like, I'll just fucking wait. It's not a big deal.
It's not bad.
I do cardios on the days that like you can't go.
We've been exercising together. Well, I mean, I've been doing it like for a while.
We've been exercising since I think beginning of
February. So
it's gotta be February because January I did a couple times here, and then it's just like, man, mom, because I was talking to my mom at times like I need to like extend my workout more out. So it's just like, Marco, you still go to this place over here? Gotcha.
You sound like a pizza guy. You still go to this place over here?
Go to this place over there.
We do it a lift away. That is so racist. I don't care. It's funny. It's true.
freaking that time that you turn on Joe Rogan's podcast and you still watch.
That's racist.
No,
Is that what it was?
No. You're like saying like, oh, don't worry, podcasts can get away with stuff. You turn on Joe Rogan, racism. Like, whoa.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Look at that. Okay. I mean, we're not that big, so we can say move on.
It's okay.
All of a sudden, like we're trending on like the fucking news channels. They said this like
you got 60 notifications on Twitter. I don't even have a Twitter. I do somewhere.
I do, but like nobody knows my nickname, so it's like
I'm gonna assume if I could remember my Twitter password and all that, I'd have like 3 people on there.
I have 74 followers
and
on Twitter.
I'm gonna assume the last time I looked at my Twitter, 2014. I hate Twitter. I hate
that
the
was
layout.
a very blank, like 20.
No, because I was trying to remember. I was like, what the last thing I'd be tweeting? I think it was the Seahawks Patriots victory around that. I tweeted something about that.
I have 76 followers and 56. So
Yeah.
I'm following 56 people.
I don't have like the app on my phone. I just don't like the layout. I don't like the feeling of Twitter. It's just another social media. It's just a different sort of
It's-
Facebook. But I enjoy Facebook and I enjoy Instagram a lot. It's very connected.
It's basically, I hate this guy. Let's cancel him on Twitter. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, even more than Facebook, it seems like just a place to drop your not even ideas or thoughts, opinions. That's dangerous because I think people may confuse their opinions with just their thoughts. Because an opinion can be a thought, but not every thought is an opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe it's vice versa. I'm not sure. I don't like literal layout when you open Twitter and you got certain feeds and the buttons on the bottom. I just don't like the feel of it. It doesn't flow well with me. For some reason, Instagram, just scrolling through, looking at, you have like fishing on there, hunting, combat sports, and stuff like that. And
I've never seen you do any of those.
You've never seen me hunt or fish. Well, when's the last time you went hunting or fishing with me?
Never. But it's just like, you probably done it in high school. I've never seen you do fishing or hunting in once in my life,
Yeah.
knowing you.
Kevin,
Was it
how
like-
often do you ask me if I went fishing or hunting, though?
Did you go fishing or hunting recently?
Not recently, no.
In the last month?
In the last month, no, but I have
2
to get my
months?
fishing line.
2 months ago?
No, because 2 months ago I was driving every day.
3 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, so last time was three months
Wait.
ago.
No, it's April.
April.
I'm thinking it's
3
like
months
February.
ago would be.
No, it'd be a while ago, but yeah,
There you go.
it was winter, so I
It's like
don't really
it's
fish
like,
in the
it's
winter.
like if you keep saying no, I'm just gonna keep going back until you say yes. So it's like,
yeah.
So it wasn't
now
recently.
we're getting into winter, so no, I probably
ooh,
stop.
but ice fishing seems a bit dangerous because you're on ice.
Yeah, there's only like one or two places around here where if it gets cold enough, the water's not that big, so it can freeze a decent amount, and you can do a little bit of ice fishing.
Last
Yeah, I don't fish in the winter because it's not fun.
last time I went fishing was probably middle school. I never went hunting once in my life.
It's all right. It's pretty good. Okay, you have to be into it. It's a thing you have to be into.
Yeah, I mean, I've been up late, so it's like it's all right. Because I know you guys get up. Don't hunters get up like at 2 or 3 in the morning?
Sometimes depends on what you are. Been dove hunting. Been up at like 4 or 5, maybe not 6.
Now those mushrooms
out
you
there.
gotta watch. you gotta get a nice schedule because those mushrooms like to disappear a bit.
Yeah, I heard like serious mushroom hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they're out there just sweating it. Hands are torn up, knees are scraped. Got to get those morsels. We found some I think it was last year or 2 years ago, just right outside of our window. And we live just like we're in town, in a small ass town. And I'm like, you guys are going 3-4 miles out, and we're getting like this can't. I shit you not. How big this is? This is my hand. I'm an average size guy. This is how big that cap was of the, and then the stem. I am not kidding. Like outside of our windowsill on the ground, middle of town. That was awesome. They taste pretty good. I understand why people hunt those now. And funny enough about mushrooms, I hated them as a kid, but as I got older and ate more mushrooms on pizza, I
was about to
fucking
say
I
that.
love
You read
mushrooms
my
now.
mind, man. You
Put
read
it
my
in,
mind.
put it in eggs. Put it in a salad. Give me that mushroom. It's nice and nutty. It's a hearty ass mushroom.
Salads.
A little bit weirder on a
Ooh,
salad,
yeah,
but
it's a little bit
wouldn't-
weird.
if it's on there, I'll eat it.
I don't know why, but sometimes I would always, when I was in freshman year of high school, I always liked to put mushrooms in the container, a little bit of bacon bits and some ranch around it. I'm like, that's good. It's pretty weird. You can find some weird combinations with mushrooms.
See, in a nutritional sense, that completely makes sense to me. It's just
Now
a
I-
mushroom. It's a
now
little
we
bit of
need to-
carby, and then you got bacon bits. You got fat and
Now
protein.
we need to get him. Now we should go get a mushroom pizza now.
Mushroom pizza, mushrooms and onions. The more I ate onions on a pizza, the more I love onions now. Onions are delicious.
Okay, we're gonna do half mushroom with something.
You
half
don't like
mushroom with
onions at any time in your life.
No, I don't.
Really?
I don't like tomatoes and I don't like onions.
You don't like tomatoes either.
No. I don't understand how my dad can just.
The tomato though you don't like, but you like pizza sauce and spaghetti.
yeah.
Bella's the same exact way.
The tomato. My dad back in the day would always like cut them in like little quarters and a little salt.
Yeah. I don't know. So your father did that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people. My mother which I thought she was just a weirdo and no one else did this.
You know what's weird
hold on,
too?
she used to eat her apples with salt. I've seen her
Fruits
do
are
that.
supposed to be sweet, but healthier as well too.
Yeah,
You're putting so much sodium
and
on
people
that.
put salt on watermelon.
People put salt on ice cream. Remember that? Oh yeah. Soy sauce too.
Ew. Ew. What? Ew.
Matt's ex, Serena, I think, did that.
Ew. Double ew. That is so good.
What? Give me weird looks right now.
No. Like, because I'm trying to understand the soy sauce on ice cream. I can understand salted caramel. That's an amazing flavor, but
Ooh,
it's
the
light.
Chocolate. I fell.
Like a nice chocolate salted caramel sundae.
Ooh. Ooh.
But if you're
Nice.
like, hey, what's your vanilla like? Oh, it's great. We add a good amount, pinch of salt. You like you add like a good amount of salt. Your ice cream salty? Yeah. What? Sorry, I'm going to Baskin Robbins.
Actually, a salted ice cream I want to try. Have you played Kingdom Hearts?
Oh,
The sea salt
the
blue
sea
ice
salt,
cream.
yeah.
Ice cream.
I know a bit about it
try
because Bella plays it a lot.
Well, yeah, and I play it here and there. I'm getting back into.
Can you see the
What?
little poster right there?
Dude. Speaking of your hands on my camera, episode 5, which is hopefully out. Well, yeah, it's gotta be out before this one. Your freaking hands are like all up in my camera, but it's good because I look at your camera and my camera to make sure that they're in sync. So I'm like, okay, that means your voices are in sync there.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Out of this frame and into that one.
Yeah, seriously. I was like, while I'm editing, because I'm still editing right now, while we're recording this right now, I'm still editing that one. Hopefully everything's up to date. I've been slacking, I understand. But it's like, I make sure that like, okay, your hands are like a little bit like this. Okay, good. Yeah. Let's get it out now.
Yeah. Well, don't feel pressured. Again, we from the top, mega drop.
I was about to say
From
that.
the top, we said that,
That's a wrap.
it's just we're going to press record when we talk to each other like we do every day at the gym. And I do feel bad because there's times where at the gym where I'm like, fuck, we shouldn't have talked about that as much. We should have saved that. Like, because I can't even remember like things that we should have talked about that we talked about at the gym.
Definitely, when the group chat was still a thing, when Josh, which is interesting too with you freaking are you and the Chicagoans battling out because it's just like you got some beef because he freaking said your 45-minute one sucks. It's like. Now as I come thinking, it's like, yeah, I wish that we at least had like 15 more minutes, but like, we have battery life, so we don't have that much extra batteries, and also we have to like cut and stuff too, and that's not good. This is a full run.
Well, I think because you were having like little, I wasn't gonna say personal issues. What was I gonna say? Just small qualms, Gus,
Emotional moments.
No. With when you were first working out and you felt like you weren't strong, and you were like, oh, I'm trying real hard. Well, it's easy. Like I told you before, it's easy for people to make a judgment on you on something they're not doing. So I can see where people are telling us like, oh, it's 45 minutes. Or like, I think you should probably stick to like this topic. It's like, okay, cool. And where's your podcast ranking?
Yeah, like how are we? Well, we don't have a rank, but it's just like I don't think that we could ever. Maybe we can. We should try that once, just once.
What?
Pick a topic and see how far we can go.
We're not very. We both have like
That's what we're
serious
no,
ADHD.
No, this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do one topic and just see how far we can go, and then we'll look and be like, wow,
3 whole minutes.
3 whole minutes. I mean, how long?
That's about a minute 30. Way too long.
I mean, how long did we talk about Julian Edelman?
A quick 4 minutes. I don't know.
Really?
No. It seemed. When you're in a podcast, I never understood what people said who've like been on them. Like, time goes like that, where it feels like because I have a right there a look at the battery life on that camera. So that's kind of how we judge.
That's how we judge.
And
you're fine.
Yeah, which I have room, but
you're fine. If you see that like last battery, like go
start
back,
blinking.
Yeah, it goes back. It goes from yellow to red, yellow to red.
But anyway,
then it
like
means we're done.
we'll be talking here. And that takes a little bit of time to drain. Like
yeah. What's so interesting about your camera is that your first 2 bars drain quickly, but somehow like it probably has like battery saver, like what your
towards
iPhone
the end,
has.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it has that.
And it keeps the battery life.
Yeah,
going.
which is so
But, like,
crazy.
We'll be talking about something, and it'll be like quick. I'll be like, okay, we talked like 3 lines about that, and that camera's dead. And I'll be like, how much time have we been sitting here talking about like nothing? Which is a really cool part of the podcast. Which again is why when you said we should have a podcast, and I was like, there's no reason we can't just hit a record button and talk like we
Yeah.
normally do, and it makes it a little more fun. It makes it a little more serious, I guess, but because of like this and the cameras and just like the feeling of setup and you having to go to edit, all the posting, the keeping on track, it's work. It's a lot of work.
It's
which
a lot of work.
again I'm thankful for and I appreciate.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm thankful that you're still going because I know like I had a college group. It was me, my friend Juan. We had a buddy named Matt, a different Matt. Here on. We got straight Matt. I think Matt in college up there is bisexual. We have bisexual.
Which again, people are gonna be like, "Why does that matter?" Because we need distinction.
Yeah, because
we need to know.
We need to clarify because we have a Matt, my brother
Sidebar,
Matt.
I hate that we have to clarify stuff like
Yeah.
that. People should just know. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, we don't have that many followers right now.
and the other Matt.
Yeah, and the other Matt up there. And then we had a girl named Fiona, which she's busy with her life now, so it's hard to keep up. The only person I stay in touch is Juan because the other 2 people are so busy. Go figure. But we randomly were in a Mexican restaurant. It was called Burritoville. Have you seen Burritoville up in DeKalb? Because I know you took a couple trips with Matt a couple times.
No, I remember the comic book store, the school supply store. I think you had, and the White Castle.
And the White Castle's not there anymore. I won the White Castle like a couple days after, and then find out it went out of business.
Upset.
It's the building's still there. It's still there.
Gotta find one on the way to. I don't know if there's one on the way to Peoria, but maybe Aurora somewhere.
There is one in Aurora. It's 24/7.
Is it in a place called Cherry Hill?
Dude.
So we have to glide in
Yeah.
after like an erroneous days long journey of trying to get to a friggin' White Castle.
Yeah, but we were a group vlog channel because they were just like, you know what? We have so many interesting days because we were always with this group.
Yeah.
And if we were not, it was me and Fiona a lot because we both worked in the costume shop up in the college. And usually I would be there because, you know, I have projects or just side projects, which my side projects sometimes I had time with the cosplay group, which is still in process after all these years because the convention gets canceled. But yeah, so we just said, like, why don't we record and just, you know, you like to edit, Kevin. Edit like an 8-minute vlog every time. And so we did. And then Fiona graduated before us, and she went off to do all this stuff. But she at least gave us content. But the problem is that she's not in college. So me and Juan are busy. We don't have good content to do. Matt just did not. Juan and Matt just stopped, and Fiona kept giving us content. And so I was just like, you know what? If we have to, we could just change it to a Fiona channel. I don't know. I'll just edit for her. And then randomly it just stopped. We just stopped. The channel's still up. I think it's been like almost a year and a half that we have posted something. Maybe 2 years almost that we have posted something. And it got up to 33 subscribers, which was good. And it was decent. It was fun, but it's also bad when only one person is motivated to give you content.
Yeah, and well, the reason I wanted to keep it light is because it. Again, I keep saying it makes it more fun, but you know, you want to just keep doing it. There's no reason not to. Like
I'm out of water.
Like, you know, if there's a reason why I tell Kevin, oh no, I can't do the podcast, is because I have to go to bed in like an hour because I go to bed at like 6 at the latest, or because, you know, we just don't have time right there. We're not doing it. Like today, I didn't have anything pressing really, and then you just have to do something like cut the grass real quick.
Cut the grass. That'd take 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like if I started at 1, it'll be fine. Yeah. But it's just like my stomach's rumbling too, so it's like, man, we gotta get some lunch. We haven't done lunch in a while either.
True.
Yeah.
The convenient thing about that camera is the battery lasts about an hour, which to me is a right about the perfect time.
Yeah, this one that I use, but I'm trying to get you one. The only downside about my camera and yours is that it's got this little thing on top, which I can add that. If I got
For the light.
yeah, if I got that one, then I have these underbar things that you can clip underneath to put the light in, but it's like it's not on top, and I like it on top. But yeah, it basically creating something like we have created this.
Yeah.
You just need the passion, the motivation, and decent enough content. It kind of sort of died down a bit with that vlog channel that we did because soon Fiona just kept sending us her walking to her job because she works at Utah Shakes. I brought that up too.
Yeah.
Almost any NIU theater person goes to Shakespeare, Utah, because I guess they need people, and it is the most popular Shakespeare festival theater ever. So I understand that. Like, ooh, I want to work out the best. I gotta go to the best. Me, I'm just like, I'll find something. I know people are like, I can't wait to get back in the theater, but it's like I kind of have something going on right now, which I think might be better, but it's all right. And yeah, so that's kind of how it just died down. And then somehow I still have the group chat on my phone, but it's like it just died.
Yeah. Well, you just gotta keep wanting. It's like we don't have much to gain besides like our personal affliction towards it, which I feel is gonna keep, which makes it better, because we just want to sit there and have a normal conversation like we normally do. And even though it's simple and we're not Rogan 100 mil Spotify deal, it's just for us, I feel like it gives us that sense of the friendship, and it's at least an hour long conversation. We can do that any day. So it's easy, it's fun, it's simple, and effective. I don't know what it's effective towards, but it's effective. I enjoy it. I've been enjoying it. I don't see any reason to not do it.
No. And also, when you bring up Joe Rogan also had stuff on his resume before.
Yeah. Well, I had a buddy bring up. He's like, oh, my uncle brought up Joe Rogan. He's like, oh, you ever heard of him? He's like, really? Like, have I heard of Joe Rogan? It's like, let's think of what you could have heard Joe Rogan from. The top of the Spotify charts, the top of the comedy charts, the top of the national TV charts with fucking Fear Factor, the combat world. Like people who think they're the only ones who know about Joe Rogan astound me, especially in this day and age.
I understand with the TV show and the Spotify, but is that you?
Oh yeah,
okay. I'm like Hank.
No.
Hank, you
I was
good,
tapping
man?
my foot.
I was just like, what the fuck was that? But the comedy top charts, like, what do you mean by that? Like,
Joe Rogan is one of the top comedians in the world right now.
I seen his 2 specials on Netflix, and
I get it. Like, I don't know why I like John Mulaney. I have a problem with his fans because when you bring up comedy, it's like John Mulaney's the only comedian to these people.
No, there are. I when I'm on Netflix, sometimes I give people chances.
I'm just saying John Mulaney's comedian, like John Mulaney's fan base. But while like you might not see Joe Rogan's Netflix special at the top of everything, he's selling out mega theaters almost every time he has a show.
He talks a lot about, like, I went to the comedy club recently, and like it's great.
He's an active comedian. He goes there, does simple shows like the Comedy Club, the Laugh Factory, and stuff like that. I
actually do want to try stand up because
I'm just not that good.
I mean, you just gotta. I've been watching a lot of comedians, so I have studied a bit, but this is like an open mic stand up thing over at Aurora Fox Valley Mall that I want to try so bad. But it's like, I know it's COVID, but it's like, is it okay to go in yet?
It's a comedy club in Aurora. It's like the 2 Trains Comedy Club or something like that.
The one in the mall?
No, it's not in the mall.
I was like, the one in the mall is called the Comedy Club.
There's I'm going to look into it a little bit later for you, but there is a comedy club that has to do with like a train station setting in Aurora that we went and visited, but I can't remember, but I'll do some research for you. But I think I'm funny, but everyone thinks they're funny. But if I am truly funny,
to show.
Exactly. If I am truly funny, if there is a chance, it was on the dot, like very situational, and I can't make a whole hour of that kind of stuff, or 30, 45 minutes, not even 15 minutes. I don't know how to sit there and actively start stimulating these people just being funny. So it's a skill, and I think is really cool. And I'd go watch it. If you did it.
Have you ever? I forget what this guy, but he is Indian. You ever see him on Netflix? An Indian guy.
Aziz Ansari
I think so.
or Russell Peters? Because those are the. I mean, I don't
There is.
know if they're
Do
actually
you
Indian,
know?
but-
Okay, well, I'll just tell you this like one clip I like. It's quiet, and he's just like racism. Let's talk about that. If you're racist, and clap your hands, and then
What
they clap.
the
Yeah,
fuck?
what the fuck, bro? love that.
I don't know his name, but I saw that clip and I thought that was hilarious.
It's actually on Netflix now, and I want to see that special, but I just don't know his name.
We were talking about it. Who were we talking about? Sebastian Maniscalco.
Sebastian's fucking great.
He is amazing.
I got no sanka.
I got no cake. I got no sanka for these people.
Omicron.
From Arlington Heights, just like an hour and 10 up north from us.
He was born there?
It's from Chicago.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I know.
For all of you people that we talked about, Chicago.
Yeah, I forgot because his 2012 special, he's like in LA and like his father lives in Chicago. Yeah.
He did. I think he did a show in Chicago for a special.
Yeah, I think the recent special before COVID was Larry the Cable Guy. He was at Joliet. I didn't know that. I was like, dang,
I enjoyed the blue collar comedy, but then again,
you gotta be into it though. I will say.
But you enjoyed him too.
Oh, I liked it.
We grew up in literal North Central Illinois. Like take Illinois, North Central, that's us.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, no. Basically, it's like North is like Chicago.
Yeah.
A little bit of Central is like where Aurora is.
Yeah,
and then it's us, and then everything else under us is South.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
yeah.
It's weird.
Literally, if you connected the South with the Southern states, Illinois, so small.
We are just in that mix in this North Central kind of thing because you're right. Like, you go an hour up, you have Chicago, you have the city type of people. You go an hour down. I mean, you have Peoria, but that's kind of different. But even around us, like Kevin, right out here at this window, corn, soybeans. You know, it's weird.
We don't do soybeans in this farm.
Not in this one, but they do over there on the other field. At
the
other field, 2 blocks on the other side.
Basically, here is one that would. I think this year.
You guys do have a lot of.
I think this year we. My uncle flip flopped, so I think last year corn was here and beans were here. So now beans and corn because this is small and this is bigger.
You know what we should also clarify in case people like only have lived in Aurora or DeKalb and don't understand. Kevin doesn't live on like you go 3 miles off a dirt road and there's
no, but like this.
We're in the middle of what do we have? 53,000, not 53,000. There's like 200,000 people in the LP area. Way more than that. I'm an idiot. I'm just saying numbers because I want to say numbers.
10,000.
There's a mall right there. There's Walmart. We're in a city, a small city, essentially, and a small town. And Kevin's house is right there with corn. That's how North Central Illinois is laid out.
This house has been up for
at least 100.
Yeah,
and that's a very conservative.
This house
number.
was here before all this shit came in.
When it was just corn.
Because what was just here in Peru before they gave all this stuff up for stores and stuff. Downtown Peru, that was it. So this was technically a country, and you just the country area living, and you just had to go down to downtown Peru. Yeah.
So it's weird. I don't think people understand that when they're like, "Oh, you live on a farm." It's like, yes,
you're done.
But exactly, it's not like like Letterkenny. Have you guys ever watched Letterkenny on Hulu?
5,000 people, and here's their problem.
You know what's funny is they act like that's so small. I came from a town with 2,300 people, less than half of Letterkenny. How am I supposed to feel about my small town?
I lived in towns with.
You lived in Tonica. That's like 300 people.
Tonica 7. I lived in
it's 7.
I lived in a town that was 500. I don't know about the Oaxaca. Geneseo.
That's a big ass place.
What?
Geneseo.
Geneseo is 6,500. Yeah. So it's like Letterkenny, but a little bit bigger. Yeah. Oaxaca, I would say 700-800 maybe. It was a big place. Yeah. Now there's a lot of houses, not that many places because like to go to Walmart or stuff, it was Burlington, Iowa, which was maybe like 30, 45 minutes away from us. Because we actually were like
that's far west. Jesus.
we were the town is like maybe like hovering on the edge, like
you could see Iowa
it's like,
right there.
It's like let me just do this.
Like you could smell it. You could smell Iowa from right there.
Yeah, pretty much. Burlington, Iowa was great though. It is nice.
I love Iowa.
I don't know if it's very popular now because the big thing Burlington, Iowa that was huge was the mall, and of course malls are like because everything's Amazon.
Yeah,
just make a fucking Amazon mall.
You joke. Well, I don't know why I like Iowa, but just we're starting to like we can wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it.
Real quick about but yeah, we're saying I lived in Spring Valley. It's like 2,300. There's like 26 or 27 now. Tiny ass town. Of course, everybody knows everybody.
Your house is small.
My house is small, and it's like, and they are all like that. They're structured for just small street houses. In Lawston, there's like 200 people there, and I don't know anybody really. I didn't live in Peru long enough. I lived there for like a year, but I didn't live long enough in Peru to really tell you what it's like to live in Peru. I can tell you what it's like to live in Lawston, half an hour away from civilization.
I can tell you what it's like to live in Tonica.
Yeah,
Bellica,
and then take Tonica and then add 7 minutes. It sucks even more. But I mean, I have small town syndrome though because I hate living around here, but I really don't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, like I could never see myself living in Chicago, even though that's
Like-
a big theater place.
Exactly. It's a big theater, it's big music, big for any kind of art, for sports, for anything you want to do, you have to go to a city. You don't have to, and people, you can make your own way. Shut up. You have to go to a city. Anytime I go to the city, I'm looking over my shoulder, my hands are in my pockets. I'm like, don't touch me, don't look at me, don't.
Yeah, my brother's ship for C2E2 is like, just keep walking.
Just exactly. I hate that feeling of like I'm in the woods and I know a bear is around like the bush. That's how I feel in the city, and I hate it.
Honey.
But then again, when you're here, man, you know what? I want to go rock climbing. Where the hell are we going to go rock climbing? Starved Rock? City people try that. It doesn't work out.
No, they die.
Yeah. If you come to Starved Rock, stay on the trail.
Please.
But I enjoy the fact that we don't have to struggle like the big cities do. You know, we can go through our streets in ease. We don't worry about our crime rate as much. There's crime here, of course. There's crime everywhere you go, but we're not. It's Chicago, okay? Let's just admit about the crime there. Here in the Illinois Valley, the worst thing you're going to worry about is a DUI because people like to have them some drinks around here.
So fucking true.
We have our own problems, but I love living here.
I don't have a problem either.
And like you were saying the other day, like what is it to take like an hour drive? True. Like maybe it takes a little bit of planning. You just gotta, you gotta have that will to actually want to drive and go do something. But all in all, I'd rather live here in a small town than actually live up there in the city.
Yeah, like if I ever become famous, I'm not showing off how much I have. I'm just gonna be like, yep, this is the house I live in.
Definitely. And I always talk about, we can leave off with this, a question. So, mostly to you, but if anybody makes a YouTube comment, if they want to answer this for us, giving you $1 million, $1 million cash in your hand right now. Do you live that lifestyle and purchase $1 million home? You're living in Beverly Hills, you're living in SoCal, the OC, wherever you want to go, in Florida, in wherever Michael Jordan's mansion was. I don't know. Probably more than $1 million. Or do you move to a town with about 2,000 to 3,000 people and make your tiny, normal, what would be $80,000, $90,000 home? Houses are cheap in the Illinois Valley. Let's say $100,000 house. Do you put $1 million into that? Take your house right here, Kevin, because his house is the perfect example. Do you take that money, go buy $1 million, or do you put $1 million into this? That's that question. But what do you think?
2,000.
So you'd put the money into this house, like.
Not really. Not really too. I just want to live in the house, and people be like,
I know, but
he's not big, but yeah, you see me.
Yeah,
you see me out there.
Okay, but would you buy $1 million mansion, or would you put $1 million into this house?
$1 million in this house.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, that would be good.
I don't want to see $1 million house. I want to see what $100,000 house looks like with $1 million put into
And
it.
your own ideas because $1 million house.
Exactly. But that was a good topic of conversation.
Yeah.
We are on. This is episode
5.
We're on episode 5.
Episode 5. We're moving. We're moving.
Catch us up on YouTube. You always like and subscribe to there. Leave a comment
Yep.
on Podbean.
Also, yep. Also check us out on our Podbean and Spotify at MK Ultra. Hopefully, by the time this episode comes out, everything's up to date. My apologies on being behind, but that's all right. It's just life.
Yep.
It's life. That's life.
Well, hope everyone enjoyed. I enjoyed that one. That was good.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Really
This
nice
is
stuff.
probably our longest. If I look right now, real quick. I can't tell if that's a 10 or a 3.
This camera probably looks terrified of Kevin just like getting into the camera.
Oh no, it probably cut to you. I'm probably gonna make a cut to you. I don't.
No, you're. Well, hope you have a good day, everybody. Again, this was the MK Ultra Podcast. I'm Marco.
I'm Kevin.
Thank you. Have a good time.